You are my special guest today, and you've been here before. This is your second time.
Yeah.
This is your second time being on the pod. What up, everybody? This is Attention Whores Podcast, episode 450. You know what I mean? Doc's the name, because Doc's the name.
Yeah.
Special guest, my brother, MURDAKHH, you know what I mean? Came to chill with me on the sofa. I'm back. Hope y'all can hear me. Hope everything's right. Real quick. It's been an interesting last week, actually last 2 weeks for me. You know what I mean? Dealing with certain situations with my employment. Everything's good, but just certain situations with that. And then I had a trip to I went down to Georgia, went to go check my sister, went to go check my brother-in-law and the dogs. You know what I mean? I chilled out there, got some good cooking, got some good eating. You know what I mean? Then I went to go meet an old friend of mine. Special surprise guest, Jocelyn Antoinette Bracey. I put a whole government on there.
That was nice. I watched that.
You did? Yeah. You saw the whole one?
Like,
most of it?
Most of it, yeah.
All right.
Most of it.
What do you think out of that? Because I'm going to refresh that. But what do you think about that?
It was real.
It was like one of the realest?
Yeah, it was real. It was real.
Okay. Go ahead.
You see those, like, there are little moments, I can't remember carefully, like, but there were, like, moments where it's like, you get this, like, she says something, you say something, and then there's a
pause.
A pause in between there. And it's like, oh, okay. You know, like.
Yeah, you could just tell there's a lot of history.
Yeah.
With me and that person. Josh.
That's good. It was good.
So,
it was good.
I got a lot of, yo, man, that shit, I like what you did. Most guys ain't going to do that. Most guys ain't going to put they own life transparently on blast like that when it looks like I was not the winner of that situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and shout out to Stassi. I've been pronouncing her name wrong. It's been a long time, Stas. But she's one of the reasons why I went to go check her.
Right.
Because originally I was not going to do that, and I told her that. But what happened was maybe a few weeks or a month before my trip, I got a message from Stas telling me, "Yo, go get your wife." Out of the blue, she was just like, "Go get your wife." I was like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, that girl that you was with back in the day, y'all just like the same thing on my on her page, whatever it was." Right. And she saw it as some kind of sign. So she hit her up first, right? And they had a whole talk, and then she screenshot me their whole conversation.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, yo, I'm not this out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay. So I'm telling her like, yo, she got her own life. She doing her own thing. I don't think me popping up is just going to be like
right.
You know what I mean? And she's like, nah, fuck that. She ain't married. She's still single. Fuck that. Go get her. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, all right. I said, all right, I'll talk to her and I'll see what happens.
Right. That's fair.
The next day, she hits me up. Josh hits me up saying, oh, someone's like praying for us or something like that. And I'm like, oh, you got the same whatchamacallit. So then we started talking from there. Right. And then we just started talking again. And, you know, we've been on and off for
a good time.
Yeah, a good time. So
good minute.
So shout out to Josh. That interview is doing good numbers right now. It's got a lot of good clips. People are giving me a lot of good feedback from it. So we'll see where it goes. And I've been telling her she could do her own shit. You know what I mean?
Real.
Yeah.
It always gets you.
You know what I mean?
Far with that.
So yeah, I was out there doing that. And shout out to my cousin LJ. I was supposed to do a pod with him too, but he got busy. So I will be back to do a pod with him. Best believe that man's been DJing for some time. I believe he used to DJ with DJ G Money that does with a Flip the Script.
Yeah.
That was his boy.
Yeah.
He has history out here in the city. He has history out in Miami. And he also has history of working for iHeartMedia. So it's going to be a good pod to chop it down with my cousin. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's all the way. My man, you go by a lot of names. Baby, Love Ladyville. Like, you got a lot of names, motherfucker.
You know, Ladyville's, that's the name of
Go ahead.
the village. I was born in.
So you named
Ladyville, Belize.
Yeah, Ladyville.
Yeah.
So how's the, I didn't put that up there. How's the motherland? How's everything with that?
Belize is good, man. We're thriving.
Okay.
Everyone's starting to kind of get back into the swing of things since COVID kind of had its pause.
Okay. Yeah. How was COVID in Belize?
Probably like any other place, you know, a lot of restrictions, you know.
Okay.
We had curfew, so you know, sometimes it'd be like, oh, at 8:00 at night, you got to be inside until like 5:00 the next morning. You know, if you went to like a government building, you had to have like your COVID shot and stuff like that. But
okay. So
it was all right. I mean, we handled it for a new nation that's still growing and you very young. You know, we handled it well, I think.
Okay.
I mean, as best as we could. I mean, there's a lot of situations where people needed food and stuff like that, but you know, you can't really do nothing.
Do you think it's back on top where it was, or it's still growing to be where it was?
I think it's going to be better.
Okay.
I think it's only getting bigger. The amount of young people that are like exploding through social media and like marketing, and we just had like a robotics team won, I think one of the Youngest Minds awards. There was a competition between certain countries like Poland and the UK and Germany in certain areas about creating a robot. I don't know exactly what the robot did, but I do know I seen the.
Wait, you talking about not those new robots that you talking about? Yeah.
No, it was something. It's like a science, you know, those science fairs. And so the kids from the high school in Belize went up against all these other, you know, we say first world nation countries.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, is that what America is considered? A first world?
Yeah.
I never heard that term when it came to America. I only heard the term as in third world mean lesser. Yeah. So I just want to clarify that.
No, you know, because it just depends. You know, like certain places are third, certain places like second world. I feel like Belize is like on the verge of getting there close to second world. Like, you know, where it's like we are growing. We might not have, like, the roads might not all be super paved out like America, but we have business. We have an economy.
You got economy. You got thriving.
Things are thriving.
What about tourism?
Oh, it's booming.
Booming?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. It's all about tourism because everybody wants to experience a new environment, new places,
right,
things like that. Shout out to We Out Travel Group. They just started the new vacation spot. I believe it will be back to Jamaica for me, Montego Bay. So that's in April.
He does his thing. Shout out to Rudy. He does his thing.
Yeah, shout out to Lit Homie Jack and the whole team. You know what I mean? It seems like a lot of people's going on this one, so this one is going to be crazy from what I understand.
Epic.
Yeah.
I seen the video from the last one. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. The last couple ones been rocking, but yeah. This one looks like it's going to be a merger of a lot of people that haven't been all together plus more. So, this should be interesting. Yeah. It's time to get back on my flexiness.
Yeah.
I have the whole winter to do it.
Today I needed to go to the gym.
I got the whole winter to do it. So that's all it is. But shout out to him, you know what I mean? There's always respect. Shout out to the Roundtable Podcast. I will be having I will be having a podcast with the Roundtable Podcast. My man Shakim, we will have him up here soon, very soon, maybe sooner than later. You know what I mean? Because the end of my third season is upon me. That will be November 4th. And I remember when he first started his podcast, he had me as the last episode for his first season. So it's only right that I have him come for the last episode of my third season. You know what I mean? Right. So shout out to him. And he's doing a lot of big things, getting them numbers running. You know what I mean? So I went off a rant because you said traveling.
No, it's all right. That's all right.
I do that sometimes and shit. But, bro, I've known you for some years now. I don't know, about 15, 16 from dealing with music. But I knew you longer than that since high school. Yeah. You've always been doing music. you've always been, I call the Donatello of
Yeah,
of music, because he not only just produces his music, sometimes he freaking writes all his stuff. He writes for other people. He goes and travels to other places and does songs for like local teams of football teams and
yeah,
things of that
soccer
nature.
teams,
Soccer
football
team, well,
teams.
football, soccer.
Yeah, right.
Football teams and stuff like that. He was the first person to put me on to what a Spotify is, and what was the other ones? Like back before, what year is this? 2010?
Yeah, that was like when LimeWire, right before Napster bought LimeWire, and you had like Apple was there, but it was only downloads at that time. Apple had the 99-cent download,
Yeah, I
or
remember that.
$1.29 download.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify came, SoundCloud,
Yeah,
SoundCloud is still thriving too.
he was the first person tell you like, yo, this is what you gotta do with your SoundCloud. And this was right before the SoundCloud rappers started really blowing up.
Yeah.
Like right before, because I remember, like I said, Fetty Wap got popping off of SoundCloud, and the fact that he was just selling CDs off the like Corners and Patterson
Right.
and shit like that. So unless you had a CD back then, even if niggas was still playing CDs, you couldn't hear his shit. You had to listen to it through SoundCloud. Yeah. So, and then there was all types of other SoundCloud rappers that got popping over in the early 2010s and things of that nature. Yeah. So he was the first person on SoundCloud figuring out the algorithm, how you could make it work for yourself. Then talking about Spotify, this shit was all alien to me. I didn't know nothing. And 10 years later, look, you gotta have your shit on Spotify. You gotta have your shit on this platform. So
I think it's just, research is important. Research is important. And a lot of times...
Keep talking. I move around. I know people hate when I do it.
When we're younger, like, the music is important. The music is the product that people attach their life to, of course. But, in this day of age, you need an engine to place the music. It's so complex. Like, people are trained now to, hey, I like this type of sound from the 70s, and I'm 26 years old, and I live in this area. And knowing someone's demographics and who they are, their taste and their habit, like, that's the thing that you say, what is my music? And whatever that is, what is the demographic and the location of the people that I think would like this music?
Yeah. It's all a numbers game. It's all a numbers game, basically. They're breaking it down. It's all what they call, I hate statistics.
Statistics,
yeah. I hate that, because there's a roundabout number that everybody just puts their heart in, like that's what it is. Right. But that's still an estimation. It's not the correct number. Right. It's an estimational number of what may or may be true.
Yeah. So, for me at least, it's a difference between spending $300 on ads or spending $180 on ads.
Okay, so you cut it just about in half.
Yeah, because the closer you get to, because everything is about how easy it is. So after you figure out what it is and who to give it to, now it's how are you going to find them? So yes, they're from Mexico or they're from Spain, and you put that in there, but now that's still broad because there's hundreds of millions of people from that country, Mexico, that are online all the time. So now you got to be like, well, no, I want people that like J. Cole and listen to SoundCloud. And there's an option for that in Facebook. And
so all the information from him will just pop up.
Well, you won't see it in the front end, but it's basically just telling the meta to be like, hey, look for people that like SoundCloud and J. Cole and live in Mexico and are 26 years old.
So they'll break that down. They'll break all that down. So everything is computerized. Everything is just computerized at this point.
Right. It's still the same thing as when they...
But is that like an A&R? That's like a digital A&R?
Yeah. Yeah, because now the question is, when you first get on a playlist, like, running ads is good, but I think you should playlist a little bit first and find out where are you popular, you know?
Oh, before you add any ads to it.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, unless you have like
can you? I don't want to get too deep into it, but let's break it down for just a little bit. Can you tell me from your point of view, when you see like a normal, I guess, rapper or someone that's doing music and they're doing it independently by themselves, trying to promote their music, how they're going about it? As I see it all the time, and I say this all the time, I could be wrong. People they do a record or an album or some kind of project, an EP, and they promote it. Now, the way they promote it is they put it on all platforms. First thing they do is put it on all platforms. Right. Now, in my mind, do you have anything growing in those platforms, or are you just putting there? It's just like putting your CD in a desert. You're thinking it's going to grow or someone's going to find it. That's how I'm thinking of it when you just put it there without anything else else moving. Now, if you do have things moving, of course, you're going to put it there and keep promoting it that way. And then my old shit is always, they're going to promote it for about 2 weeks tops before they say, oh, this shit is not where I want it to be. Let's go to the next project.
You know, I'll be honest with you.
Also, is that how it's still going? I'm asking, is that?
Well, I would hope that we're still not going down that path, you know, where we're just kind of just dropping music and not really knowing what to do with it after 2 weeks with it, right?
Like, yeah, well, I see you've been promoting records that's been out for.
Well, I was promoting a record that was out 11 years ago.
Or Anakin Seed or something like that? Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, Anakin Seed music.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know.
Who ain't hear it?
Who ain't hear it, didn't hear it. And if you like it, you're going to be added now to the people that come by 6 times a month and listen. And it's a numbers game. So it might not mean much because it's one person, but after 10 years of pushing that theory and that idea out, you got 20,000 people that are listening 6 times a month.
You're right. You add it on.
Right. You know, so like.
So it is a numbers game. So you think if people see that's it. You know how people are on TikTok all the time?
Yeah.
They're on TikTok. And I tell people like, my mind isn't at the rate it needs to be to do TikTok for it to work. Because for it to work, you have to be a computer. You have to continuously be on TikTok all the time. Right. Like, you can't miss a minute, a second. If you do, you gotta triple up, double up. You know what I mean? Like, in order to continue to keep that pace. Like, it's different than all the other ones, so it's so fast paced. So you think if people treated their mute like they're just mute, because now music is TikTok records, which is a minute to maybe 2 minutes, whatever. Right. So if you're promoting your music in that type of fashion, do you believe is a bigger rate for them to get where they want to go or get some activity or attention?
Yeah, TikTok's a good place to go get activity. I mean, it's just, once again, we go back to straight numbers. Like, you know, you post a picture on Instagram in your own feed, and you get 7 to 25 likes, right? You post it on a reel or in your story, and you'll get anywhere from 84 views,
maybe to
200-300 views.
Yeah, you're right.
Which goes back to that old saying of, you know, people might not want to engage with you, but that doesn't mean they don't want to look at your life. You know. So when you look at it that way and saying, okay, you could post something, and you could do this too. Post the same clip on TikTok that you posted on Instagram, and watch TikTok have more views.
Because more people are flooding through it.
Yeah. And it's just a little bit more friendlier. I think the algorithm's more friendlier.
Okay, well, you got a whole bunch of people come from everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's like the international house of pancakes of that. Like, it's just so many people from so many different. It's not the specific people you have on Instagram and the personal people you have on Facebook.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's broader than that.
It is much broader than that. I think that maybe if it's something serious that you're trying to accomplish, like if that's the thing, like, yo, I'm trying to make it, like I want to, like, you know, put out more records and be successful and make money from it. Then whether it's you or someone else that you hire or someone else that's on your team, somebody got to go do that grunt work of saying, hey, you know, this is how it works in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you promote songs. We need to have 50 pieces of 1 minute videos ready each month.
And you can do that.
And you could do that, right? Like, and if you can't do it, there is someone that can do that.
Well, you could have someone do that.
Right.
Yeah, there's always a position for some employment that
Right.
you could get, and you're very good at that. You're very good at having people get your music and your stuff going on, you know what I mean, or pushing it and stuff like that. Like you always was like, you were always business minded and finding the new technology that could work for you. Right. So in that aspect, you have a project, or this is the second of the Largos.
Yes, this is Lagos 2.
Okay.
So
am I on this one?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Was I on the first one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
But the second one I'm on.
No.
I just had to, you know.
So the scheme with that was Lagos 1 was an EP, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I debuted Do It Like This on Lagos 1. And
I remember. Pardon me.
But really, it was just I released 5 songs, and those are the first 5 songs. We made an EP out of it. Lagos 2 is a continuation of songs 6 to 20.
Okay.
And then Lagos 2 took the best of 1 and the best singles of that came out, and we made 2.
You did what I did before when I had the CDs. Remember I said, listen, you have a project. Promote the project. Whatever song pops with that project, cool. Take that and the other best songs, put it on the next project.
Yeah.
Mix it all together like a gumbo.
But I give people the opportunity to listen to the song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't bother me if a song doesn't hit well. And, you know, the chances of every song hitting well is slim to none. You only get like the, you know,
it depends. Sometimes it's like,
there's like 1% of artists really get that off though. What I'm trying to say, like, you shouldn't be worried about just put out your music, you know, like your music is, if you think it's dope, then it's dope. And let the audience decipher for themselves if they think it's dope. Because once again, it's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
And the more music you have on Spotify and Apple, let's say you meta tag, MURDAKHH is old school East meets hip hop vibe, East meets West vibe, right? Let's just say like that's one of the meta tags.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as long as I continue to keep dropping records in that vibe and in that sense, that's what I do. 5 years later, when someone types that in, hey, I'm looking for old school meets East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
And you hit enter in Google, I'll get pulled up first.
Okay.
Because the amount of records you have on it. There's a reason why Drake has over 250 to 300 different records.
Of course, Chris Brown does that with his.
Yeah, because every day there's more and more artists coming out, and your job
is a cesspool.
It's a cesspool, and you can only stick out by literally sticking out the amount of records.
That's why I'm not trying to do music like I normally do it now.
Right.
You know, I take my time. I don't rush. Right. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, and I'll put it out via something I'm doing, the pod or some other thing I'm presenting.
Right.
It's not like it needs to be, because at this point it's like, I figured that I have way more people following me and interested in what I'm doing via the pod than I do right now when it comes to just the music. I may have had spurts here and there.
Yeah.
But I never could keep it level or keep it up. Pause. That didn't. I had to say some shit, right?
Only you,
Pause,
really.
yeah. Super pause. So I wouldn't be able to keep it level.
Yeah.
Like the world. Keep it level. And continue without diving down.
Right.
So with this, I'm like, I'll take what
Yeah.
I'm best getting with the energy I'm getting right now.
Nah,
And
and
then
you're
I
good at
will
it. So
move my music.
yeah, you're good at it. And I think, you know, you don't need to really blow up on every platform. You just need to do well on one.
Yes.
You know, people will tell you like,
Hey,
oh,
sideways
you
Instagram.
know,
What's
hey,
up?
rock this. You should be on this one. Oh
I
no,
just
this one's
don't. It's
going
just
well.
with me when they just like, yo, new project on all platforms. And I'm like, why? Nigga, just, I didn't even hear it yet. I didn't even see the video yet.
Yeah,
And granted that if you have it like on Spotify, you're able to maneuver it through different things. So I can understand that. But when you're just like, yo, it's on all platforms. Okay, well, what's it about? And what are you doing? You got any shows, set up for it to promote the album? Do you have a presentation of the album release or something that goes? You got something tangible?
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's a lot of things because when I learned like it's a lot of money you got to put into doing music right now, especially right now, the
yeah.
way it is. Like motherfuckers could do shit like this and get a bigger buzz off of something, a clip, then it, and that could gain them a
Right.
position where they could make that money like that, as opposed from someone that's keep continuously doing the same thing and hoping for a different outcome. That's called insanity or crazy, which I don't mind what was being called, but I'm just saying, like generally, it's not going to change,
I
and
I
I think
think
we just need it to change.
yeah, I feel like, you know, you gotta have some sense of reality when it comes down to the music and what's expected out of you. And you could live in a world and say, hey, new music out worldwide.
Mm.
Boom. But just like you says, there's some missing context to that. Like, okay, who are you? How old are you? Where do you come from?
What's your story?
Right. What's
That's
your
why I like
story?
using this for my story. What I realized is what I realized about me, and I'm pretty sure people figured this out a long time ago and just was like, oh, now, dummy. But what I realized is I was always afraid of doing my realer records.
Right.
I was afraid of recording them. I was afraid of trying to put them out because I would only do it if like someone around me was doing it and I was like, oh, okay, he think he got that shit. I got
Right.
something. But for me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the funny record. For me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the party record. For me,
Right.
I'm going to do the crazy outrageous music thinking that that's going to catch on. And yeah, that's a part of me and how I present certain music and shit. But what I'm really known for when it comes to rap is spitting bars. Like I've
Right.
always been the bar spitter dude. Like, and I just was just like, I've so many records I record. I mean, I've written down before I was doing the mind shit. I wrote it down and I never just went to the studio to record it. And after a while, I had to figure out, you know why I didn't do that? I was afraid to do it.
Right.
I thought maybe it wouldn't come out as good as I needed it to.
I think, especially now, there's a lot of artists.
But that's what you could, it doesn't matter. You could put whatever out. Sorry for the cut off.
No, you should. You can put whatever you want out.
Yeah.
You're not like subjugated to like some type of box or some type of restrictions or like, hey,
It's
bullet
like
points of
anything could work.
yeah.
Anything could work now when it deals with
Yeah.
music or expressing yourself. You don't have to do the normal. You don't have to do the gangster shit. You don't have to do the fucking party shit. You don't have to do the emo shit. You don't have to do all you have to do is do your shit. Once you realize what your shit is, what you're good at and what you like doing, do that.
It's a good example, right?
Do that.
Like say you get I'm just gonna pick on not pick on, but I'm just gonna pick out. Let's say you like bagpipes. You know, Scottish people like bagpipes.
It might be a fire bagpipe beat.
Right? Yeah. You get a
Is that a pause? I don't
bagpipe
know.
beat.
That might be the pause.
You
It's a
get that
pipe.
beat and you lay
I don't
something
know
fresh
anymore.
or dope on
I'm
top
too
of that, and then you end up finding a way to get that to connect with the people in that country, the same people we said, oh, well, they
old.
Scottish you love bagpipes. So So now,
well, Scottish people. I don't know. I don't want to get Irish and Scottish people, but was the jump song? Wasn't that was the Irish thing, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of, I believe, Irish people like that because it has that sound in it, because it has something they could connect to.
So a good way of doing a video, not even a video, but let's just say you just want to use a 15-second
presentation of a promotion or some shit like that. Yeah.
You know, get someone like on St. Patty's Day, you know, the St. Patrick's Day parade. You know, guy walking with bagpipes. You film that, or you go buy the legal rights to use it for
whatever reason.
Yeah,
you get
sometimes like $9.99 a month if you pay for it.
So you're saying you make a beat and sample it, or you do something else with it?
You grab a video of that, and then that video, the person playing the bagpipes, and then you underlay your music, your song with the bagpipe, right?
Okay, a blend of sorts.
Yeah, it could be
a blend of sorts.
Yeah.
2
to 3 songs, or 2 to 3 versions of the song that has the bagpipe. And then, so now you're
using like seasoning, and you sprinkling it over.
And then you send that, you use it as an ad, and you say, hey, I want this to go to 18 to 40-year-olds.
And then it could become a jingle.
Scotland. Listen to hip hop music.
See what I talk about? He's like the Donatello of this shit. Cause like, I'm not going to go too deep in, when it comes to marketing, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm that's why y'all annoyed by my ass. Cause I'm gonna market the shit out of whatever I do. If I scratch my ass, I'll market that shit, of course. But I'm just saying in general, like, I think marketing all the time. I think, all right, what's going to get somebody's attention? What words are going to get somebody's attention? What phrases, what font, what color, just why this is red and this is black and this is red and this is black. There is all in my head. This is all in my head before anything. The fact that this is all red in here I was like, yo, I want it done like this.
Yeah.
And I want the black to whatchamacallit, because when you always put out the outside of anything with black, it enhances the color or the design or some shit like that. So I'm thinking marketing all the time, but he's thinking the new wave of doing something. Like, he's thinking, how do you get something that already exists, put it with what you're doing, present it to people, and now that's his own work of art, and you could use that to gain more money because now it's a jingle. What happened now? Look, he's making money right now as we speak.
Yeah. I'm contacting everyone, letting them know my plans for the rest of the day.
Okay.
But nah, it's true, man. I think that it's important just to kind of know, like, we're still in a good space, right? Like, we're in a good space where you can put out your music and people can listen to it. And you can find a way of getting people to listen to it. More now than ever.
Yeah, that's true. More now in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So really it's just about having fun with it. Making it be something that people like to...
That you enjoy.
Yeah, because if you enjoy it, then when people are around you enjoying it, they'll enjoy you.
That is true.
That's it.
That is true.
That's it. That's all a crowd of people that go see someone.
They want to be a part of it. They want to feel that energy.
They want to be a part of it.
That deals with that whole thing that we all want to be accepted into some form. That's why it's a bandwagon mind state when it comes to certain people. Even like when you're watching a car crash, it's like, why is everybody doing the same thing? Like, y'all have groupthink, which I don't like, which leads me into a whole bunch of other stuff I want to talk about. Is groupthink. Like, we have a whole bunch of stuff where people just automatically think the same way. There's no individuality. There's no open-mindedness. There's no critical thinking. And I do not like that. But before we get into that type of talk, real quick, you moved out. You moved out. You moved down south. You've been out. First you moved home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You moved home. You was out there for some time building houses. You got some land out there, getting everything situated with your mom and your pop out there, you know, and your family.
Yeah.
Then you chose to move back to the States. I don't know if it was around the COVID time or whatever. I don't even know if I could say shit like this, but anyway, it was around that time.
Right after.
Right? And then, you're down south. You're in the North Kakalakis. Right? And, now you're the fly guy. You are Senor Superfly.
It's a
airline lifestyle, man. What's up with that?
This is just a real good opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, I always like to communicate with people anyway, and talk and
you are a talker.
Make sure someone has a good time. That's why we're MCs. You know, we want to MC a party to make sure people have a good time.
You want them to feel the energy that you're feeling at that time. Yeah.
So it's definitely a dope opportunity, and I'm happy that I got the chance to, even do it. And it has,
I'm thirsty. Go ahead.
Opened me up to being able to travel more, and that's exciting on many levels, more than just music, just to be able to see different places and
go to different places.
They'll go to different countries, try different foods and stuff like that.
And it broadens your mind too, right?
Yeah.
It broadens your mind, and then that broadens your mind dealing with music and everything else you're doing. Your perspective.
Exactly. It's all about just being able to have a team perspective of things and realize, life can be lived in so many different ways. And once that insight hits you and your mind is understanding a whole new level of living, oh man, your day-to-day living gets better.
You see it differently. Yeah. You're not just I'm at home watching TV and waiting for the next day so I go to work. It's different from that.
Yeah. The land in Belize, it's a beautiful piece of property. Beautiful piece of property. I feel my agent, Tiffany Swift from Remax Belize, that Remax, that company from the US that
I heard about.
So she showed me a beautiful piece of land, and one of my good friends, she was out there looking into it, and she hit me up and said hey, it's a really good idea, and you could do a lot with it. A couple of us are trying to invest into pieces of the whole pot of land to create a nice little village that tourists and people could come.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. So it's really in the early stages, and but hopefully, God willing, in the next few years, be able to ground break. And
that's what's up. That's see, I like the fact that a lot of the people I know, they really elevated. They really, whatever they had going on when they was just hustling or doing live, they really got to a point where they took opportunities and just went for it. And now they're in a better position, and they're able to do way more with their life.
Right.
And come back here and still chill and still put this game down and continue to go. You know what I mean? That's the one reason why I do the pod and I have people on. Cause I just don't want to talk to y'all niggas by myself. Cause I just don't want to talk to these niggas. This man chose with the phone or the videos right there. And they just, I don't know how it is. Real quick, cause I got stuff down here. How do people get their phone, put a live on, and they're talking to an individual that's not on the other side of it, but they're talking to this so they could send it so it's in the ethosphere, right?
Yeah.
And they'll get it then. So what you're doing is you're talking to the fucking phone, and whoever's online is seeing that shit. It's not the person you're talking to.
It's an art form, yo. Literally.
It's not an art form. That's some kind of mental illness. I'm not going to talk.
It's acting. It's acting.
This is more acting than that. Listen, all right, I can't see I get up because I can't see the thing. It's turned the right way. So I have to get up just to see if anybody's paying attention or waving or whatever the hell.
Well,
so I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on having a straight up conversation with the person I'm here, and I turn here and there once or twice to make sure I keep eye contact with the niggas that's watching.
I think I look at it as just look at it as you're shooting a video format, a conversation, whatever.
But my thing is they really get so emotional to the phone. It's like the phone.
It's good acting.
Nah, it's way more than good acting. But hey, if you want to say that, Obama, because you Obama, come on. Oh, I know you got. I don't know if you got this.
That's my belief, though.
Because you got the DEA hat on low.
Nah, I went to the mall in Jersey today, and I bought this hat.
What is that? What's on the front of it?
It looks like a Buddhist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this joint was.
That's a nice hat. It looks like a DEA. Look like the hat you put on when you don't want nobody to see you in the mall and you have a mad low. That's how superstar you are.
It's true religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light. Something light.
Yeah. I got the jeans on too.
Something light. Come on, man. Dakkh'S the name, nigga.
I like true. I love it. I love True Religion.
Oh, that's your jeans fit. Yeah, it's true.
It's a nice fit. It's a nice fit. A little bit.
I guess it's because you and 2 Chainz is tall, so it's for tall niggas, maybe.
I love it.
Oh shit.
Potential spam.
Shout out to potential spams, yo.
You know, it's
shout out to potential spams. We good?
Yeah, you know we're having elections in Congress.
Oh, right now. You would know. Sorry. He spent time as working with what black people would say the enemy, but I say it, that's some good money over there. He was with the Republicans.
Yeah. No, it was a good opportunity.
He was working for the Republicans.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. Like, I got to see a lot too. You get to see how much really things are in the back end, you know, who's lying from who's not lying. Then you figure out everyone's lying.
You definitely figure out everyone's lying. They just got a different spin on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to ask some a couple current events we got going on over here, man. Right. You see them up there?
What's that, Charleston White?
Oh yeah. But before we get to that, Kanye, what's we got to? Right? And they're kind of in the same ballpark as what's going on now.
Right.
But real quick, and Nori too. Damn, you busy. All right, fuck it. Fuck the pod.
No, go ahead, you know.
Real quick. This stuff happened this week and I literally hit Louis. I hit Louis like, we good?
Yeah.
I hit Louis like, yo, you need to do the pod now. Cause there's a lot of shit that me and Louis could talk about. This being one of them.
Right.
But I'm going to ask you how you see it from how I see it. And I think I'm embarging in your time, right?
Nah, go ahead.
God damn, shit. But anyway, real quick. So, as far as Charleston, what do you know about him? As far as Charleston, right, I fuck with what he's doing as far as the kids and everything else. Do you know about anything about him?
No, I don't. I was looking at that just now. I feel like Lil Wayne right now. You know, I don't know what the hell's going on.
All right.
Explain to me what happened. What's going on with Charleston White?
Okay, Charleston White is he's actually like a youth activist for kids that's going in and out of jails and things like that.
Right.
Back in the day, he was like I guess a regular kid off the block, and he was him and his boys not accidentally, they killed a white guy over some jacket or some shit, right?
Right.
He went to jail for it, got into gangs and shit. Then after he got out, he was on some, I'm not fucking with the gangs. Let's get the kids right so they don't have to do that.
Right.
He was an activist for some time, and other than the people that were, and I believe he's in Texas, other than people in certain part of Texas, you didn't hear from him. So he started doing this character where he's dissing all the rappers because the rappers aren't doing anything too much for the communities. They're just talking about killing this and raping this girl and doing all this shit, but they not really that. They really characters. So he started saying, fuck this guy and fuck that guy and fuck this guy. Recently, he was dissing, Boosie, Lil Boosie, and I think T.I., but Lil Boosie first. And then I think Lil T.I.'s son, not Lil T.I., T.I.'s son, King, said something about him, and then he went back and forth with the kid, and now he's dealing with these young kids. They're like 18 though, but they're still young kids in the eyes of how, you know what I mean? They're just still young. You know what I mean? So now T.I. got into the mix, and Boosie didn't really get in the mix because Boosie knows, like, listen, I'm really about that life, so I'm not going to say anything to whatchamacall this shit, but, you know, T.I. got something to say. So T.I. said T.I. shit. And then this motherfucker said, yeah, I go and call the cops, man. You was the tipster. You taught me how to tell. Oh, so then he's going to bring back all the shit from what T.I. was telling and shit. And it's going into this big snowball of shit. And this guy, Charleston White, I like where he's coming from, because even though he's talking all this shit about people, he backs it up with some real shit. And if you could back shit up with real shit, I fuck with you. He says, I'm only fucking with you. He said, it's like I'm a rapper. I'm putting on a character and I'm saying, fuck you, I'm just not rapping. And all the black people are getting mad at him. Right. No white people getting mad at him. You know what I mean?
I feel like as long as he is his original point, which was trying to prove, you know, that these artists from the hood are not putting back into the hood and not changing things, just making it worse. Mm. As long as he's still doing that as his main goal. Yeah, that's what it is. I dig it, you know? Yeah. I dig it. I mean, it's just some people, they can't take it. And, you know, I'll tell you like this, as a black man, as just part of black people, we're so overly emotional when it comes to certain shit. Right. And we're not overly emotional when it comes to certain other people that aren't us. We just, you know, tuck our tails and we continue to go. And that's how you get into the whole Kanye and Nori situation, which I'm pretty sure you heard about. Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, when you start out with the end of the day, oh man, because it's like, I feel like we're still here. We're still here at this point, and it's like we've been here. We know, like the dude's got, you know, he's bipolar. Like, all right, so. I'll give you this. I don't want to put it on sickness. Not with this. I know where you're going. He's been on medication. He's been quoted as being bipolar. He still is affected by his mother passing. We all know this. Right. We all know this, and he knows this, right? Right. And coming from a person that I've kind of been compared to someone like him, where I say openly what I feel with shit, and I make my own music, like in this, that aspect of shit. A lot of times this nigga's just saying shit for fucking attention, right? Right. And he knows he's a business mind when it comes like that. When he says he's a visionary, that's what the nigga's doing. He's visionary how I could get this shit to work. He visionary y'all niggas buying the Yeezys. He visionated y'all niggas buying them goddamn rags, or whatever the fuck they are when he has his little fashion shit. Right. He visionated all this shit. He'll take a fucking, didn't he take like a garbage bag and make it like a Louis some shit? Yeah. And it's the name, it's the brand, and he knows what he's doing. Now he got into hot water now because he talked about the ish people. Now the ish people, like when I say 6:30 p.m. ish or 8 p.m. ish or 7 p.m. ish is a type and a like of something, not the actual thing or person. That's all I'm going to say about this. This is shit I learned when I was fucking 15, and it didn't have to do with high school. Right. I learned all this shit. Some of the shit that Kanye was saying, I learned this shit when I was young. And a lot of black men know it, whether it be true or not. They're just not going to say it because they know they don't want to be ostracized. That's a good word. Yeah. That's Mr. Rogers' word for the day, ostracized. Ostracized. Because that's what it is. You know what I mean? So no one wants to be by him. So they don't want to get that, I call it the cooties.
It's like when people say you got COVID, they act like you got the cooties for real. I was like, yeah, what the fuck? But they act like, oh my God, like you just want to pass it off to them. So I understand some of where he comes from, and some of where he comes from is a lot of bullshit, or he just doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he's just ramping off at the mouth, right? So I understand that. I don't agree with Nori saying, I apologize for another man's words. Now, I do agree if Nori says, listen, it was on my platform. If anybody felt offended, I'm sorry that you was offended. And that's that man's whatchamacallit, but I try to be fair to him. And that's it. Like, for the most part, that's my man's, but you know what I mean? I understand the situation.
Right.
But backpedaling, it makes not only Nori, it makes a lot of people in today's world that are black that quote unquote think everything's equal and think everything's on a level playing field like the world. But on a level playing field, it makes everybody it puts us back.
Yeah.
And it shows what the real is. We cannot say anything against certain people, whether they might be quote unquote white or end with a ish, any ish, or whatever
ish
that they may be. We can't talk about them, but they could talk about us if they want. And we could talk about us killing each other every day in music. We could talk about us fucking a bitch right down the road and everybody ran a train on her. And it's not a problem. Matter of fact, it's a bop. Matter of fact, Tom Cruise are dead to that.
Yeah. I think, like society's got a real well, there you go.
I'm bad. Go ahead.
Society's got a big issue. They got a big issue with facing the terms of things. It's like
no. I know you've been Republican once before, so I won't let you do it.
No, what I'm saying is true.
They don't have a big issue. They know.
Like you can think about it. Well, it has to be big because you're saying you could get on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You can lower your standards in whatever way that is, dancing, cursing.
You're talking about black people.
Anyone, really.
Okay.
Right? You could say all of that and talk about killing other people and drive-bys, whatever, the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not wrong.
Because niggers killing niggers is entertainment from American soil, from the beginning of American soil.
Right.
It's been here.
Right.
You don't, and you won't hear, like Charleston White says, I got arrested for killing a white man. But they don't get mad at me for that. And then he talks about how he fictionally raped a white woman, but he didn't do it. But he was like, where's the victim at?
Right.
But people are getting mad at him for that because he's going against the rappers they like.
Right.
So my thing is, are we brainwashed with all this shit?
Yeah, that's like that movie with Tom Cruise.
Again, with Tom Cruise. I have a Tom Cruise segment. Go ahead.
Remember the movie that he was arresting cats for
Minority Report?
Crimes they did before they did it?
Yeah. Minority. But that's how we think. We're in that. Listen, all those movies, this is a whole nother zone. All those movies, everything, they're telling you what's happening and what's going to happen. They tell you. Fucking The Simpsons predict everything, goddammit. So they tell you what's happening. But that, I'm just saying, as black folk or black people, or whatever we call a community as a black community, we're all fucked up. We want to be the white man. We want to be the owners or the slave runners or what. We want to be that. And that's why we act the way we act. Cause they're, and this is nothing against, cause I tell you, I got white friends and I don't like saying they're white friends cause they're not white to me. They're just friends. We've never been in a position where it had to be, you're that and I'm this. So that's all it is. You know what I mean? But in general, it's like, when it comes to us, it's all right for us to kill us and it be entertainment. But if we were to ever say anything like that and try to get it published or try to make it go through something, it won't go through. I think with the whole Kanye thing, he's a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Build your own fucking bank.
Yeah.
Start your own bank. Whatchamacallit. You know what I mean? That's where it's at. Now you control your money, and you can control. You have other people come there to feed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Banks, nigga.
I
Fuck.
guess, you know.
Oh, he don't go by ways. Yay Banks. There you
Yay
go.
Banks.
Yay Banks.
I don't know. I mean, like,
fuck it.
I think, like we said before, everything with Kanye sometimes feels like it's
scattered.
A smoke screen for something else that's coming down the road.
Oh yeah, he's a businessman, so he's going to have something in pocket. Mm-hmm. And then Nori apologized for that situation, and then I think later that day he took off the episode. Right? And now but then Kanye had like 2 other interviews with these 2 white shows, right?
Yeah.
And they're not getting taken off, and they're going back and forth with Kanye about some shit, and it's like it's not no cool conversation, but they getting it, and they know they're gonna get the ratings, and they don't gonna care because it's gonna look like Kanye's being crazy, and they're gonna put it out there. But when it comes to black folk, we so scared of our own shadow. Yeah. We so scared that Massa ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, because if Massa don't like it, Drink Champs is done.
That's right. But then fucking you got money now, Nori. Make you keep it. And if you can't keep Drink Champs, make it some other champs, and it's still Nori's. Call it Nori's Drink Champs. Now it's yours. That's it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Call it Nori and EFN's Drink Champs, pardon me. And then people will just say Drink Champs. When Biggie couldn't come out as Biggie Smalls, he was called Notorious B.I.G. No one called him that shit. They still called him Biggie Smalls.
Notorious, yeah.
They just called him that. Shit. But anyway, I just wanted to, I gotta get Louis, and I know I can't get him here because that nigga's never in Jersey no more. I gotta go.
Catch him in the summertime. You gotta do Attention Whores on the road.
I'll do. Listen, I'm already going across state, nigga. You know me. I don't give a fuck where it's at. I'll take it over there, but I definitely gotta have you. Yeah, I need him and Tommy on one show. This is where I got that would be the ultimate podcast. I would have my own network and they'd be under me. It'd just be, I call it TNT. Them niggas is the bomb for real. The fuck.
Yeah, they would set a bomb off. They're very headstrong with what they believe in.
Yes, you know? Definitely. But they ain't want to do it, man. They don't want to do it. They need to do it. I mean, they do it for free on Facebook.
Well, that's just culture, you know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, shit, I don't know how long we've been going. Is there anything you want to say, bro? Ask me. Anything else you got going on? Let me see the time on you. Oh, we almost at that time.
I mean, I feel like, first of all, thank you for having me.
Nah, man, listen, I had you before. Let's be real. I had you before. And that whole night, it was that fucked up how I was dealing with shit. And I was like really like torn on some shit. Like I had a whole show set, knew what I was going to do. And that shit fucked my head up. Yeah. And then you came there, you was with Iz. Shout out to my brother Iz.
Yeah, shout out Iz.
He came there and y'all actually was the last episode. It was in December. Y'all was the last episode of the year. And then I took a 3 month hiatus because I had the dogs here. Right. So I couldn't really do what way I wanted to do it. And well, all I remember really, and I talked to both of you guys, but you was out of it.
Yeah, I had a lot to drink.
You were out of it. I thought you was high, but you were out of it. I
had a lot to drink.
So you was like answering shit.
That was a real Drink Champs.
Yeah, you was really low with it. So I was like, yeah, I have Doc back in. Then you was coming into town. I said, yo, come on, come start through the part. You know?
Yeah.
Let's do a part.
It's cool. I love this. I watch it at home sometimes. I come home from work and I'll sit down and I'll see a clip and then I'll, go to YouTube and watch it and like.
Thanks, man. Thanks for all the supporters, for real. Like, I'm just trying to continuously build this and make it what it could be, the best it could be.
Yeah, it's authentic. It's real. As long as it's real, that's all that
I like this.
I care about,
because really. I think in rap, you could be yourself in rap, but you still got to throw a little if on it. Just to, you know what I mean?
To get the
enhancement of it.
Yeah.
I could just be myself regardless. If I fuck up, it's like, oh, it's here. You know what I mean? Like,
I think being yourself is so important. Like, you know, I try to do that with the music. Like, I just do me. Like, I don't really care what people feel.
Yeah, we know you're gonna have some Naruto, you're gonna have some Dragon Ball Super, you're gonna have some on your but that's what you fuck with, that's what you like, man.
Yeah, it gives a good sound. You know, like for me, everything is all about sound and sound tracking and making things right, and you know.
Me. Anything else you like to say? You can ask me anything if you like. Shit, what you got, or you can promote what you got coming up.
Really, I just make a statement for everyone. You know, we live in definitely strange times.
You sound like Hov right now.
Yeah, strange times.
Oh,
like
no.
it's important to stay focused on whatever that you're trying to do. You know, whether you're pursuing a music career, you know, being a content creator, trying to be a lawyer, or you're a military guy, right?
Like this
So
guy.
whatever you do, stay positive and, you know, enjoy music that showcases moments of your life. You know, I think that's the best way. When you're looking for music, think about what you're going through and try to find artists that can reflect that. So it gives you a space to kind of let your issues out to, you know.
Okay.
So definitely that. Shout out to everyone in Bergen County. You know, all the people, the players,
shout out to Jersey,
guys,
Bergen County,
and girls, the girls and dolls and guys that
the dolls and guys.
You know,
was that a play?
Do their thing. They do their thing. They make their money. They represent Bergen County well. Shout out to everyone in Belize, back home in Belize. You know, I love and miss y'all dearly. You know what I'm saying? I'll be home soon. New music's always on the way. And
go get that Largos too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Get Largos too.
Just put MURDAKHH in on Google, everything will pop up. You know what I mean? All of it will pop up.
Appreciate the streams. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, what you got? Tell them the stream talk. Get that stream talk, man. Stop playing games.
Lagos 2 did over 500,000 streams. And, it was released in March.
March? Okay, shit. How many months is that we in? What, that 8, not 8, 7?
7 months.
7 months?
Yeah, 7 months. 500,000, 7 months. So thank you to everyone that supported. The bulk of the listeners are in Mexico, Chile, Spain.
Ooh, okay.
So, shout out to everyone in those countries who are listening.
They like tall brown men, big hair.
Yeah, all day. And for all my peoples, you know, all my peoples that are supported, like you, Poe, you know what I'm saying, my family and everything. Just stay tuned.
The gang, you know, the
stay
boys.
Stay tuned to the Horse podcast, you know what I'm saying, because it's dope. And, you know, I like what he's doing. I like what you're doing with it.
Appreciate it.
You know, just keep building every day. You know, each year, add something new.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. You know what I mean?
Before you know, you'll be like the next Tyler Perry.
Oh, my God. Yo, his whole machine run is crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So, shout out to everybody that was watching. Hope you liked it. Hope that the mics work and you heard everything clear. Hope it didn't stop. You know, I gotta keep checking to make sure everything's right. My brother here, MURDAKHH.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you coming through. I know we tall and shit. That's Attention Whores, episode 450. You know what I mean? Doc's the name. If you don't, please like, comment, and subscribe. Go to the page. That's Clawpo TV and Attention Whores. There's a whole archive of episodes there. You can pick and choose whichever you want. Go like and subscribe on the last one and the one before that. We got more shit coming. I ain't done yet, motherfucker. I guess that's it, right? We out this bitch.
You got relationship shit. You know? It's cuffing season.
It's cuffing season
right now.